Way Out West will begin after this preview of our next series.
For the eyes of the world now look into space.
Godspeed, John Glenn. 10, 9, 8, 7. The Eagle has landed.
Astronaut. Astro meaning star, not Voyager.
And now, our feature presentation.
Welcome back for another fun episode of Way Out West. We're bound to have a rootin' tootin' good time. You know, I see some of my friends here, but I want to make sure I know everybody who's here. So, on the count of 3, just like last time, I want you to yell out your name to the screen. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Whoa! There's a lot of Soul City kids here. No way! That's awesome. Well, hey there, Morgan. It's good to see you. And Calvin, I'm so glad you're joining us as well. And Mary, it's so nice to see you. I'm so excited you all decided to join us. Now, wait a minute. Some of you looked a little bit confused. Like you're wondering what this is and what previous episodes I'm talking about. That's okay. You've just caught the 3rd episode of Way Out West. All you need to do is pause this video, go back and check out episode 1. It'll show you everything you need to know about Way Out West. Now, all my other friends, are you ready to have a hopping and popping good time? Great. For those of you just joining us, we've been the Sheriff and Rangers of Rowdy Town. For the last 2 episodes, we found out the mayor was in cahoots with a railroad tycoon named Harry Morgan. They were going to hold Rowdy Town's water hostage unless the people of Rowdy Town agreed to work on Harry Morgan's new railroad for free. But thanks to the trusty thinking of yours truly, yeah, you helped out too. We were able to gather enough evidence to put the mayor away. With all these plans and the other information you helped us gather, I turned in all the evidence, and I can only guess that the mayor has already been arrested. Anyway, now we're on our way to Silver City. In the last episode, we came across this here flyer that told us all about Silver City. I know you're just as excited to go to Silver City as I am, but first, we need to take a quick pit stop at Whistle Creek for a bite to eat and to give our horses a rest. What? Oh, you see something? Well, You say it's a newspaper? Where? Well, it fell down over here, you say? Oh. Well, you're right. Look at this. It's a newspaper. Let's see what it says.
Well, howdy there, folks. I'm Miss Charlotte O'Clair, one of the journalists for the Whistle Creek Times. I'm covering all the shenanigans happening back in your town, and I'm just so glad you two were able to get away from that scoundrel of a mayor in time. The whole thing reminds me of one of my favorite stories from the Bible about a man named Moses. You two just have to hear it. God's people, the Israelites, were living in Egypt as slaves. Sun up to sundown, the mean old Pharaoh put them to work each and every day. Even though they were downright miserable, God never left them. He knew they needed help and sent Moses and Aaron to lead them to the Promised Land. Moses and Aaron listened to God and went to Pharaoh to tell him that it was time to let God's people go. Pharaoh didn't care. He liked having slaves around doing all the work for him, so he refused to hear what they had to say. Moses didn't know what to do, so he prayed and asked for help. God reminded Moses that he would never leave him and that he would save his people. God told Moses and Aaron to go talk to Pharaoh again. So that's exactly what they did. They said, "Let God's people go." But Pharaoh's answer was still the same, a big N-O. God told Moses and Aaron that Pharaoh would ask them to perform a miracle. So Aaron took his walking stick, threw it down on the ground, and it turned into a mean old snake. That didn't bother Pharaoh none. He still refused to obey God's command to let his people go. It was time for some drastic measures. Moses then met Pharaoh at the Nile River and asked him one more time to let God's people go. But wouldn't you know it, he still didn't listen. So God told Moses that Aaron should use the walking stick to strike the river. And when he did, it turned right into blood. You'd think that would be enough to convince Pharaoh, but no sirree. That Pharaoh stayed stubborn and refused to let God's people go. God had Moses try to convince Pharaoh 9 more times. To prove that he was for his people, God brought punishment on Pharaoh and the Egyptians, and boy, they sure did suffer. Picture this. God sent thousands of frogs, hippity-hopping all over town, the whole place smelling worse than an old boot. Then, swarms of gnats and flies buzzing around everyone's head. It didn't get better from there either. I'm talking animals dying left and right, boils all over their skin, hail falling from the sky, locusts flying all around, darkness for days, and by golly, even death. Now, the whole time this was happening, the Israelites were just waiting and wondering when they would be set free. They knew that God hadn't left them, and that one fine day they would see the Promised Land. After all this crazy mess, Pharaoh had finally had enough, and he let God's people go. As they were heading out of town, God sent a cloud to lead them by day and a fire to lead them by night. God had never left them while they were in Egypt, and he would never leave them on their long journey to the Promised Land. Now that's my favorite kind of story to be reporting. You know, just like God never left the Israelites, he sure isn't gonna leave us either. I wish I could stay and chat, but I'm running late for an interview for a story I'm working on. Now enjoy your stay, and don't forget to try Whistle Creek's famous frog leg stew before you head on your way.
Wow, that was a really neat story. In the Bible story, how did God help his people, the Israelites, escape from Egypt? Was it by sending plagues or by sending cowboys? That's right. God allowed bad things to happen to Pharaoh and the people of Egypt so they would finally allow the Israelites to leave. Now, no matter what crazy things happened to God's people, he never left them. That story reminds us how God will never leave us. Just like God never left the Israelites, we can trust that he'll never leave us either. That's what we need to know today. So let's all say it together. God never leaves me. Can you say that with me? God never leaves me. That's great. And uh-oh. It looks like the town wildman, Playster McGamerson, is wanting to play a Wild West duel. You know, the Wild West is full of all kinds of duels. Do y'all want to play? Great! We're gonna have the best time playing a game called Rock, Paper, Scissors, Showdown. I know most of you have played Rock, Paper, Scissors before, but I want to make sure everyone remembers exactly what to do before we start this here showdown. To remind us all which sign beats the other signs, we have a guide for all of you to look at on the screen. As you can see, you can make a rock, paper, or scissors with your hands. The rock beats the scissors beats the paper beats the rock. Is everybody ready? You're all going to be playing against me. I'll say rock, paper, scissors, shoot, and that's when you show your choice. If you beat me best out of 5, you win. Are you ready? Here we go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, you got me. Look at that. You had scissors and I had paper. That was pretty impressive for sure. All right, let's try this again. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. What? You won again. You had paper and I had rock. Wow, you're pretty good at this. Okay, if you win again, you win the game. Are you ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Again? You beat me again? How is that possible? It's almost like you read my mind. Or you rewound this video over and over again since you now know what I was going to choose for all 3 times. Pretty clever, Soul City kids.
You remember me, right? Charlotte Eau Claire from the Whistle Creek Times. Anywho, I've been doing lots of interviews and research for tomorrow's front page story, and there's something you need to know. Since a good journalist never reveals her source, I can't tell you where I heard it, but rumor has it that rascal of a mayor from Rowdy Town has hired a bandit to sabotage your trip. He's hot on your trails, so I just wanted the 2 of you to keep an eye out. But you didn't hear it from me.
What? Oh no! This is not good! Does that mean that the mayor of Rowdy Town is still the mayor of Rowdy Town? We left Rowdy Town leaving the people defenseless against that no-good mayor and his friend Harry Morgan? I can't believe I thought he was already locked up. I'm the sheriff. I'm the one who should be doing the locking up, but I plumb forgot to. Do you think we should go back to Rowdy Town and try again to stop Mayor Rowdy? Oh no! If there's a bandit after us, does that mean Silver City's a trap? I just plumb don't know what to do. Should we try to stop the bandit? You know, I did get a message from a mysterious ranger in Tumbleweed Canyon who said he would help us for a price. What's that? Last time it was a newspaper showing us a Bible story. What? Oh no! Is that? No, it can't be. That's us. Isn't this terrible? Not only can we not go to Silver City because clearly that's a trap, but now we might end up in jail for this because we're all wanted. I'm not even the Sheriff of Rowdy Town anymore. What are we gonna do?
Glad I found you again. I know everything that goes on in this town. I know you've both had a humdinger of a day, but I don't think you should give up just yet. You're the only ones who can save the fine folks over in Rowdy Town. God will give you everything you need if you just ask Him for help. Oh, and by the way, I've been digging around trying to find out where you two are wanted in some of the other towns around here, and I think y'all need to head out to Dead Man's Fork instead of stopping at Buffalo Landing. It's the only town on the trail where the sheriff isn't looking for y'all, and because it's a little further on the trail, the folks here in Whistle Creek packed you a basket of goodies for your trip. Just stop by the saloon on your way out of town.
Really? You know, that Miss Eau Claire's onto something. We're gonna have to be extra careful now, seeing as I'm not the sheriff no more, which means you can't be rangers no more. But it sounds like we can safely make it to Dead Man's Fork, thanks to the help of the good people here at Whistle Creek. It's amazing how God can send good people to help us out in a terrible situation. Now, before you go, let's all bow our heads, close our eyes, and pray together. Father God, thank you for always being with us. We know that no matter what is going on in our lives, you have a good purpose for each one of us. Please help us to always remember that you will never, ever leave us. We love you. Amen. Remember to find badges and anything else related to Way Out West and Soul City Kids on our Instagram page. So make sure your parents are following us at Soul City Kids. They can also click subscribe to this here YouTube channel so that they know when the next episode of Way Out West is available. And we'll see what happens at Dead Man's Fork. Have a rootin' tootin' good day, and we'll see you next time.
Headed out west and we're all in this together. Giddy up, partner, it's time to go. We're headed out west like birds